Now I'm going to talk about actually playing the game. So it's kind of hard to see, but there are two dice on the board. One here and one here. Now the way it's decided is that two players roll the dice. In this case there's only me, but let's imagine that there are two players. So the first player rolls the dice, and I got a 4. Second player rolls the dice, I got a 4. Now this is pure luck. But if the two numbers are the same, roll again. Both of you roll again. It goes without saying, but I'm making sure. Now I got a 5 here. This die rolled out of the board, you have to roll again. It rolled out again. You have to keep the dice in the board. So now I roll a 3, which means that the player here is white. He or she begins. Now the way to determine that your roll on the board is light or dark is by looking at the two players. Now your pieces are on top of the board. So my light pieces are over here, which means I control light. Therefore, the direction I'm moving in is like this. My pieces should end up right here. And same for darks. Dark is determined over here. The darks go like this and end up here. Now, because I rolled a 5-3, I begin. This roll is just to determine, it doesn't matter. Some people play that you have to begin with 5-3, but it's totally up to you. So I now roll, and I got a 6-3. Now the way to play 6-3, you have to move 3 with one piece and 6 with the other, or 3 and 6 with one piece. So you can do something like this. I moved 3 over here. 1, 2, 3. And I ended up right there. And I can move with this piece, or I can move with this piece. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Now, make sure that where you're moving to is not blocked. What I mean by that is, I'll talk about that later on when I play. I'll show a different situation. But the move I recommend the most is to move 3. The minute you play a lot, you count quickly. And 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I want you to notice when I moved 3, this was not blocked. And when I moved 6, this is not blocked either. And of course, black does the exact same thing. And by chance, I rolled a 6-3 for black as well. So if you count very quickly, just move like this. Make sure that your pieces are not blocked. Now, if there's one piece open, if there's one piece on its own, like this is called an open piece, and somebody can take you. Let's say I rolled a 4, which with this die by chance I did, then I can get a piece. I will talk about that later. You cannot roll a die individually, and what you cannot do, let's say I rolled, I got a 5-6. You cannot, for example, move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, that just doesn't work. That was here. You have to move 5 and 6. The move I recommend the most for 5-6 is just go from one side of the board to the other. Now, it matters on the way you do this. If you're playing on the computer, for example, it asks you, do you want to move 5 first or 6 first? It's up to you. Now here, when I rolled a 5, this is a good example of a blocked area. I move 5 here, it's blocked. I cannot move here. I can move 6, because this is open, but I cannot move 5. So I move 6, and I move 5. In a moment, I'm going to talk about capturing and the end of the game as well. and strategies. Now, before I talk about strategies, I would like to just say a blocked area or a blocked piece is an area where 2 or more pieces are situated. Like here, there are 5 pieces. This area is blocked. Now, I would like to talk about strategies. First of all, one strategy I like to do, especially when you're in this situation, is called blocking. Now, I may have spoken about this, but I'm not sure if this is the correct term, but this is actually what I mean. Oh, I rolled a double. Now, this is not a strategy, but what do you do when there's a double? Well, my double is 6-6. It's probably the best double you could get. Now, what you do when there's a double, you have to move 4 times for the same roll. Now, 6-6, how this looks like. First of all, you move once, you move twice, you move 3 times, and this is capturing a piece, and you move 4 times. That's a 6-6. You do not get another turn like in other board games, but that is kind of like your other turn, moving another 2 times. Now I have a blocked piece here. What do? I roll. Well, that kind of goes without saying. Now again, the blocked areas come in here as well. They apply to here as well. An area with 2 or more pieces situated in one zone. Now, when you want to bring your piece in when it's captured, well, what do? First of all, each zone is numbered. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now, this piece should go somewhere here in this area, depending on your roll. This is not a blocked zone. There's one piece here. In fact, it's open, which means that one of my pieces could get this piece if luck goes my way and my roll goes right. So I roll. I got a 6-2. 6 is blocked, but 2 is open, which means I can put my piece on zone number 2. And now I have to move 6 with one of my pieces. I'm going to take a big risk and move 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to here, which is an open area, and I'm going to put my piece right there. Now another strategy I like to talk about a lot is when 2 pieces are away from each other, like here and here. Let's say I rolled and I got a 3-1, which is great for this example, which means that you can create little blocked areas with my pieces, with your pieces. Now in this case 3-1 doesn't really help, but let's say I got a 4-2. You can create houses is what I like to call them. So I got a 3-1, but for the sake of demonstration I'm going to use 4-2 as an example. So I move 4 with the further piece, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I move 2 with my closer piece, 1, 2, and look, we end up in the exact same place to create a blocked area. 2 pieces again are enough to create a blocked area. Now, if a piece is captured, the person whose piece is captured will find it harder to bring a piece in. So this is a good strategy you will use, and plus, this comes in handy at the end of the game, which I'm going to talk about in just a moment.